Good evening, everybody. I'm Fictional Crystals, and the new Steven Bomb has finally aired on TV. At last, I don't have to put a spoiler warning at the start of the video. Okay, so whoever actually had the willpower to wait until now to watch the episodes, pearl point to you. Anyway, let's talk about this episode. For a start, I really liked it. The episode gave me chills. Steven wakes up from a very strange dream crying. He's in Greg's van watching a movie that has a whole lot of foreshadowing. The movie they were watching had cows being abducted, which reminds me of this Garnet line.
I blame the cows.
They head back to the temple and Steven finally asks about Pink Diamond. I find Greg to be a very underrated character. He says very meaningful things and gives great advice. He didn't need to know much about Rose's complicated past or Pink Diamond, because to him, someone's past doesn't matter as long as they're a good person now.
The past is the past. All that matters to me is who you are now. And who she was an incredible, loving being.
I wish the fandom would realize this about some characters, particularly on Rose shattering Pink Diamond. Ever since we found that out, people keep saying that Rose is pure evil, but she's not. Steven goes to sleep and has another dream, but this time he can look around. Once again, he wakes up crying, but doesn't know why. Steven tells Connie about his dream, so she comes over and gives a bunch of Buddy's book references.
Sorry, I'll clean that up later. Forget homework!
Including Buddy's actual book. Back in Buddy's book, Steven and Connie saw this drawing and had no idea what it was. But all of us viewers knew it would be important. Just like me, Steven did not know how to pronounce palanquin.
That's it! The palanquin!
Actually, it's pronounced palanquin.
They asked the gems what they know about the drawing. Of course, Amethyst doesn't know anything about it. Like Steven, she doesn't know much about the war, Homeworld, or the diamonds. Oh, and I'm happy she has her hair in a ponytail again. However, Pearl does know about the palanquin. But she doesn't want Steven or Amethyst or Connie to worry about it. And her very bad lying skills kick in. Garnet interrupts. She's very agitated compared to usual. I don't actually think she's ever reacted to something the way she did then. Her reaction shocked the others too. It was just so unusual for Garnet. Both Pearl and Garnet avoided Steven's question. But this time Steven wasn't having any of it. In the past, Steven would hardly ever ask questions about Rose, the diamonds, the war, or Homeworld. This time Steven finally put his foot down. He deserved answers. Some people are saying he was rude to demand answers like that, but how would you feel if you were in his position? This was important character development for him. Connie was like that friend who visits your house but then you get into a fight with your parents and they're just kind of like trying to avoid the conflict. It was a similar situation to Warped Tour. In the end, Steven decides to go and look for answers himself. I believe I was actually cheering at him while watching the episode at this point. Garnet stops him. She really doesn't want him to go to the palanquin. You could tell that Garnet was really shaken by what she saw with her future vision. She wasn't just scared because of her memories. She was scared for the safety of them all. I think Garnet should have told him what she saw though. If he knew what she saw happening at the palanquin, he might have been able to stop it. But if she did, we might not have gotten the awesome story arc that we did. Garnet accidentally kept making the story more interesting, so in the end Steven decided he had to go. Even if she wouldn't help or go with him, he would find another way to get there. And that's where Andy becomes useful. First, he helps the universes, next he'll help the Crystal Gems. He takes them to Korea. In this show's Earth, I don't think there's a North and South Korea, it's just Korea. I wonder how long it took them to get there in that tiny plane. We get a really cool montage of them touring Korea. It was hilarious. This has to be my favorite fourth wall breaking moment on the show yet. They visit one of the Steven Universe animation studios, where you see them working on a bunch of stuff for the episodes. Eventually, they went to visit the palanquin. The closer they got, the more Steven cried. Greg sees a very familiar sign. There they see a palanquin, but it's not the same palanquin from the book. It was the same styled palanquin as the one from the answer because it was blue diamonds. At long last, we get to see and hear the beautiful Blue Diamond and her Pearl. Dee Dee's voice for Blue Pearl was way more different than her voices for the other Pearls. And Blue Diamond's voice actress Lisa Hannigan did a really great job. I'd recommend listening to some of Lisa's songs, they are really good. Steven realized he was crying her tears.
I was seeing through her eyes. I've been crying her tears.
At first I thought he was crying Rose's tears, but no, he was crying Blue Diamond's. Which makes sense since Steven has enhanced empathy. He has quite literally felt hurt when others felt hurt on the show before.
I don't understand what's happening.
Blue Pearl hears the two talking, so Greg decides to come out. I like how polite Greg is to Blue Diamond. He must know Rose had a complicated past with the diamonds, yet he still manages to feel for Blue Diamond. How ironic was it that Greg was feeling sad for the loss of Rose and feeling sad for Blue Diamond, who was feeling sad because Pink Diamond was dead because Rose shattered her? As we guessed, this was Pink Diamond's palanquin. Judging by the palanquin's location and the amount of flower designs on it, it seemed like Pink somewhat enjoyed nature. Blue Diamond mentions a geoweapon incubating in the earth. She was talking about the cluster. Blue Diamond found it remarkable that a human could feel what a gem feels. She didn't know how much humanity progressed since she was last there. She liked Greg so much that she decided to take him. Yet again, Greg got another important gem leader interested in him. First the leader of the crystal gems, and now one of the leaders of the homeworld gems. Yet even when he's being taken away, he's still being polite. Blue Diamond summons a bigger version of the jailbreak kinship, and off to space they go again. Steven tries to go after them, but he gets pushed back. Luckily, Garnet comes out of nowhere to save him. She was so scared of Blue Diamond seeing her in the crystal gems again. Now they're going to space. This Steven bomb was called out of this world for a reason. And so the Steven bomb is off to a strong start. Those of you who haven't seen all the new episodes yet are in for a treat. Anyway, thanks for watching, cause that will be all.